Let's move on to Fight Fest. Now, this is a new initiative as of 2024. We launched it this year. It is Love of People's fight against Parkinson's and dementia, supporting Rocksteady Boxing, Acadiana, and Bell's Tower. We're going to get into all of that, John. But first, just tell folks, what is Fight Fest? I kind of just said it's a fight against Parkinson's dementia, but what is the event? What's the initiative?
Fight Fest is one of those examples of how helping others help others and how things just grow. Roddy Oquin and Carrie Hoffpower, they started a business, Rise Physical Therapy, a few years ago. I'd kind of talked to Roddy on and off about, going and being an entrepreneur. And prior to that, Roddy would come to like our community Thanksgiving, our community Christmas gumbo, and she would bring her kids, even till today. She's like, we raised our kids in love of people. And I hear that loud and clear, So Roddy and I had this relationship through service that we kept growing that relationship. It carried over a little in the business, but we never really left love of people together, So Roddy, a few years ago, they invested in Rocksteady Boxing, which is a non-contact boxing class for people diagnosed with Parkinson's. And, you've done a few stories on it.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click this link. You can go right and watch that kind of explanation story about Rocksteady Boxing Acadiana.
It's a beautiful thing. I've been able to witness, transformations in people's lives because of Rocksteady Boxing. So the funny story with that is Roddy came to me. She's telling me, because she started picking my brain about nonprofit world, and she's telling me what she's doing, and I'm like, Roddy, we have something very similar with this Rocksteady Boxing thing. And I said, why don't you just put this under Love of People? And she says, she's like, well, we're going to see about, we'll talk about it, but we're going to start a nonprofit. I'm like, okay, it's kind of a hard thing to do. And then she was like, well, who helped you start yours? And I was going to kill him, but Winky is what we call him. And he's a lawyer from Ville Platte. And Oquin is his last name, Mr. Oquin. And so I'm never putting this together. So Roddy looks up Mr. Winky, talks to him about starting a nonprofit, and Mr. Winky tells her, you need to go talk to John Williams. He has Love of People. Long story short, it turned out that Winky is Roddy's father-in-law, who he helped me start Love of People. She goes to start one, and he said, got to go talk to John. So, again, that's just how, God works. It puts people together, the ones that need to be together, continue to impact the community. So, to get to the point, Roddy started Rocksteady Boxing. At the same time, I had an initiative going for people with dementia, which is Bell's Tower, and it's named after Ida Bell Pesson, who was one of my original 3 clients when I started QLS 12 years ago. Not that she had dementia or anything, but Miss Ida Bell Pesson was known in the community of Broussard as that person that just showed up to your house when you had a loved one that was sick or dying, and she would just show up and pray with you and love on you. I knew her as a very strong, opinionated woman who helped her. She was the youngest sibling of 7, and she was the only girl. She had like 6 older brothers. She helped them all run their businesses. She was just a very strong foundation of a woman, is what I can say. So whenever it came to me to create a day space for people with dementia and their loved ones, I knew that it was called Bell's Tower after Ida Bell Pesson. So Love of People's Fight Fest is our fight against Parkinson's and dementia. You can go to loveofpeople.org to find out more details about each, and also bellstower.com to find out more details. We are planning on opening by March of 25. And, just the angels that came in to help me with this project. This was a house, an old house that I found, And years ago, when I walked in and my foot hit the wood floor and it creaked, all of a sudden I could smell my grandmother's, frying chicken, seriously, baking a cake, smoking a cigarette, listening to her records. I immediately was transported back to when I was a kid. And the house is like 90 years old, so we kept the same facade in the house. I knew that this would be for people with dementia because what a comfortable environment. Tony Davern helped me build what we call a memory care garden in the back, which is designed to help decrease anxiety and stress for people with dementia. Darren Domain changed my roof. I want to say for free, but I don't want to put him out like that. But it was for free.
Thanks, Lafayette Roofing.
Thank you. It's just, the people that have gotten involved with our Fight Fest to make these resources happen for people. Dementia and Parkinson's are neurological diseases that really suck, for lack of a better way to explain it.
Yeah.
However, my goal, Roddy's goal, Carrie's goal, her team over there at Rise Physical Therapy, if we can do anything to increase the quality of life in people that experience these diseases, then we're going to do it. And that's what Rocksteady Boxing represents. That is what Bell's Tower represents. So what our Fight Fest is, it goes throughout the year. You can go online and you can donate to Rocksteady or Bell's Tower. And what you're doing is to help pay for either boxing sessions for the Rocksteady Boxer or memberships for Bell's Tower. And I can assure you that that money goes straight to people, giving them access to these resources. And I'm just blessed to be part of being able to develop these assets, these resources.
Yeah, I've been able to interview some of these folks at Rocksteady Boxing and hear some of the stories of people walking in there with a walker, and then several months later they're not even needing a cane, just due to some of this acute movement. It's scientifically very fascinating how that works. And then from the Bell's Tower side of things, though the day space isn't ready quite yet, we've been doing some of these things like music therapy. I've gone and played for a client of yours who has dementia, and you can just see her face light up whenever I play certain songs. She's verbal. Granted, it's only a couple of words that she says, but sometimes there's a song and she's able to pull out a couple of words from that, and it's really powerful, and it's a cool thing to see. So being able to help with those resources, improving the quality of life for folks with these neurological diseases. Like you said, it's a year-round thing. We launched it in the beginning of kind of 2024. We did it at Vermilionville. We kind of had just this event with some live music. We had a little fun, but raising money for these boxers and for the day space, and to raise awareness. And what are the plans going forward? We're going to have some more like an event like that. It's like kind of a figurehead event, even though you said it's year round.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to Fight Fest, again, just like Blue Monday, some of these initiatives that we've chosen to take on in love of people, there are gaps that need to be filled. Mm-hmm. And, can we get it done with one blowout event in a year? In all honesty, no.
Right.
And so that's what Love of People kind of focuses on. Let's find that most at-risk area, or where that greatest need is, and let's create a mechanism. Create a mechanism for the community, private business owners, sponsors, donors, grant writing ability, and let's just establish a pipeline to where when people want to impact, like, it shouldn't be once a year.
Yeah.
Because people are dealing with this every day. Right. We cannot expect a nonprofit organization to throw 7 major events in a year while doing monthly event to raise money. We have to create this mechanism in a way that when you feel compelled to engage in, whether it's older musicians, young athletes, or people with Parkinson's or dementia, I want people to know that Love of People is where you need to go to truly connect.